Shavua Tov, a gute Woche. Somebody asked me what this means. It means good week. And that's how we say it in Hebrew and in Yiddish. Every Motzei Shabbos, every time the Jewish Sabbath finishes, as the week is beginning. I want to tell story number 79 of the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, the oldest source that we have, and the first published source of Baal Shem Tov stories, the title of which, story number 79, is Dino shel Muchsan bebeis din shel Mala, the sentencing, the trial of a Muchsan. Muchsan is a Jewish tax collector, rent collector, special position that was held in the time of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Many Jews actually occupied that position. And this trial, this sentencing happens in the Beis Din Shel Mala, in the heavenly court. The author of the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov, Rab Dover of Linitz, says, I furthermore heard from Moreinu Rav Zelik, that was mentioned before, in the story before, that he, Moreinu Rav Zelik, heard from Rav Shneur, the son of Tzaddik Moreinu Moshe, the Magid Mishalim of the community, of the holy community of Rashkov. Rashkov, where Yaakov Yosef sat for many years, this great student of Baal Shem Tov. And this Rabbeinu Moshe, the Magid of Rashkov, saw in the community of Lutmir. Lutmir today is called Volodymyr Volinsky, so those who want to look it up in Western Ukraine, but the Yiddish-speaking Jews, it was called Lutmir. What did he see there? He saw a manuscript, a handwritten story written by the Toldos Yaakov Yosef, by Rabbi Yaakov Yosef of Polnoy, where he says that he saw the Mechaber. This Rab Moshe, in a dream, saw the Mechaber, and in this dream, he saw him coming into an Eichal in Gan Eden, into a palace up in the Garden of Eden. And the palace was extremely magnificent, and his eyes were amazed, could not behold what he was seeing. And he there was admiring the excellence of the beauty of such a place. And then he sees that the Samech Mem, who is the Samech Mem we mentioned before, the Malach Samael. Who is the Malach Samael? The Satan. The Satan is coming into the palace in the form of a dog. And he sits in front of the Beis Din, of the heavenly court. And there he informs about a man of a certain town. And he says, well, it's true that he learns Torah, and regularly learns Torah, and he's a Baal Tzedakah, he's generous and giving charity, but I have a claim against him. He has been living in this town for many years, and every year he steals from the Gentiles. Sorry about the noises. He steals from the Goyim, and then this Samech Mem, in the form of a dog, gives an account, a cheshbon, to the Beis Din that amounts to a great sum, a great amount of how much this man has been stealing. The heavenly trial, the tribune court, refused to listen and admonish him like a dog and made him go away. But when the Rav, seeing this in his dream, saw such accusations, his heart felt heavy. He stood there. He wanted to stay there to the end to hear see what's going on. About half an hour later, the Samech Mem came back a second time to again present his claim. And again, he was admonished and made go away. He came a third time. He stood before the Beis Din and he said, Mari de Alma, Lord of the world. He's talking to God. I came to this Beis Din, to this heavenly court, and they do not listen to my words. a cruz was heard from heaven, from above. A cruz is a proclamation, a herald from above, ordering that they need to decide a psak, a sentencing for this trial, and the psak din, the verdict, will be given on this man from that town, and either he would have to lose everything he possesses, and him and all his possessions, right? And him and all the members of his family would have to go to tfisa, to jail. Something would happen that he will lose everything, and he will have to lose his freedom, or one of his children would commit shmat. Shmat, abandon Judaism, become baptized a Christian, will leave Yiddishkeit and become following another faith. And the choice, which of the two, was in the hands of the Muhsan, the Jewish tax collector himself. He had to choose one of the two punishments. The Samech Mem took the psak din in his mouth. How do you call it? A dog's mouth, right? And he took it. The Rav woke up from his dream. He felt very sad for the Muhsan, the Jewish tax collector, because he was very dear to him. And particularly, he had heard what the Samech Mem himself had said in his praise, that he learns Torah, that he's about tzedakah. So he called for the Muhsan to come and told him what happened and inquired an explanation. What is your choice? Which of the two punishments? The Muhsan said, "May the Lord take everything I have and put me and my family in jail. Chas v'shalom, that any of my children should be a meshumat, should live Yiddishkeit, should live Judaism." And indeed, that's what happened. And the Rav had to do a great effort to collect the money for Pidyon Shvuim, to rescue the Jewish captive. And from this we learn the greatness, or how greatly heavy is the transgression of stealing or being dishonest in our deals with non-Jews. That the Samech Mem will use it against us, even above all the Kedusha, all the holiness of our actions. Indeed, there is a source, the Pele Yoetz, Od Gimel Erech Gazel, the section about stealing. It says that stealing from a Gentile is worse than stealing from a Israel, from a Jew. Sorry about the noise. That stealing from a Gentile carries the heavy charge, besides stealing, that is a Chilul Hashem, is a profanation of the name of God. The Mekubalim, the Kabbalist, wrote that a Israel, a Jew who steals from a Gentile, would cause that the clip of Kedusha will be stolen from, and the stealing will cause the Gentiles to take away from the plenty of the blessing, the bracha, parnasa that Jews have, and Jews will live in poverty because of it. So if we, chas v'shalom, God forbid, steal from Goyim, it will ultimately cause that we will live in poverty. Also, Beragola on Shulchan Aruch, this is a halachic source, not a Kabbalistic source, on Choshen Mishpat, Siman 348, Sif Katan Hey 5, mentions the same thing. That stealing from a Goy is even worse than stealing from a Jew. There is a source that this story happened in the time of the Shem Tov. One of the Memorim, the Alter Rebbe mentions it. So basically, it's like almost like a Musar story, a moralistic story from the Hasidim about how heavy it is not to steal from a non-Jew. I am translating all the stories of this book, the Shivchei Baal Shem Tov. Every week I tell them here in YouTube, in English and in Spanish, and I am in the process of translating them in a book form. I'm working translate from Hebrew to Spanish, to edit and publish it. So to say thank you for keeping up the channel and doing these things, as well as for the efforts to translate, edit, and eventually, B'ezrat Hashem, publish the stories. I appreciate all donations and contributions. See link below. Shavua Tov, a gute Woche.